All right, guys. Well, happy Saturday. And like I said, I made a video yesterday, a taste test video. I hope everybody enjoyed. I appreciate everybody who watched. Um, and like I said, I got another taste test video soon to come. Bear with me. But I just want to make one comment. And look, man, I'm not saying everybody's not right to their thoughts, their opinion. Okay, it's not what I'm saying. I know people get that twisted, but at the end of the day, this, I shared Jeffrey's post because at the end of the day, it's not even so much as an opinion. It's just honestly, you're sick and how can you say something like that? Like, how can you honestly say to kill a kid that you would kill a kid because they have Down syndrome? You know, like, are you kidding me? Like, so you're gonna kill a kid because, again, kids who have Down syndrome is such a lifelong, and it's such a horrible thing. Do you think kids can help it? Do you think kids that have Down syndrome, do you think they asked for it? Did they say, hey, God, before I'm born, give me Down syndrome? Thank you. Like, come on. I don't think so. Like anything else, it happens. Nobody asks for it. You know what I mean? Like, nobody asks to be born with something. Or even when you're born and you don't find out until, like, nobody asks for it. But to say something that evil, which, again, I'm not surprised because there's so much evil, so much hate in people, so much ignorance in people. So am I at least surprised by it? No, I'm not least surprised by it. But at the end of the day, I just think it's ridiculous and disgusting that you would say something like that. That you'd really, really, nearly kill a kid and give it up or because it has Down syndrome or has some sort of a special ability. Something that it can't help. Something that it didn't ask for. And, like you should be ashamed to say something like that. Mr. Nuggerjugget, or whatever, Mr. McJugget, whatever, you guys know his name. I can't say it. It's a tongue twister for me. I'll just say Jesse, because I guess that's his real name. But still, like, I mean, look, I understand, look, whatever, when you're, you gotta, respect decisions. But to me, at the end of the day, it's your kid, man. Just because your kid is going to have Down syndrome, you're rejecting. And then you're saying evil, disgusting things like this, all because your kid's going to have something that it's not like it asked for. It's not your fault. It is what it is, man. It just happens, man. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be your kid, your child, that you should love. Like, why in the hell, like, I just can't believe people nowadays that you'd be willing to give up your child, reject your child, or say something as, oh, I would kill a kid because they got a special ability. I just don't know how people nowadays can just support, or you can just say something that heartless and evil. And it's like, oh, you don't care. It don't bother you in the least bit. You don't feel ashamed for saying it. I don't know, people. Like I said, I'm not against people's opinions. Like I said, no, man. At the end of the day, you can have, it's your opinion is your opinion. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say it's an evil, twisted, disgusting opinion to say something like that about kids. Like, I just don't know what's wrong with people anymore. Believe me, that's why I try not to. Because, again, it's disgusting and wrong, the stuff that I see and hear people say. And it's like, I could never say stuff like that and not have any guilt or regret saying it. I don't know. All I can say is, you should be a dang ashamed of yourself. And you can get all offensive, but at the end of the day, instead of getting offensive towards me, why don't you look in the mirror? Because you're the one saying that you're willing to kill a kid because having Down syndrome is so. When, like I said, do you think kids out there ask for it? Huh? Do you think they, they don't ask for it? But at the end of the day, so what, man? Like, it's still your dang kid. If I had a kid, if I had a kid with Down syndrome, I would love him. Like I would love my kid, whether he had Down syndrome or not. Like, nothing would change. I'd be like, you know what? Hey, my kid's more special. But at the end of the day, I would still love my kid, be there for him, not reject him because, I don't want to deal with you because you got a special ability. You got a disability. I don't want you. Like, to me, that's absolutely heartless and ridiculous to say something like that. And these people, honestly, like I said, man, y'all can get offensive, but because we're talking about it, but at the end of the day, instead of coming after us, why don't you look in the mirror and look at yourselves, man? At least we're not the ones saying evil, hateful things like, oh, yeah, man, I agree with him, man. Kill a kid, man. We don't need these kids. We have enough kids, with disabilities. Yeah, at least we're not saying those disgusting things like you are. At least we're not freaking heartless. So, I don't know. Like I said, absolutely ridiculous, if you ask me. And again, I'm just giving my opinion, but every time, man, I just can't believe it when I see it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much